Good day, drivers. Today I'm going to show you three main sensors you should change in your car on your engine for safety. To protect your engine, these are the three sensors usually best to change after at least 100k or high mileage car. Okay, so if you have a vehicle at like say over 100k and usually over 200k, okay, if a code come after this for saying that you need to change the coolant temperature sensor, just change it. Okay, usually if your car is shaking, you think that you need a tune-up. This is a fuel injector. Okay, most time you don't get a code for this, but usually you get a code that you need to, for instance, your cylinder misfire. So in your mind, you're gonna say, oh, I need a new plug, ignition coil, or a spark plug. The best thing to do is test all your injectors. I'm going to explain to you how these work. This is a O2 sensor that balances the air, and all these you're looking at right now have something to do with the air and gas. This is for you have something to do with air and gas. Also, this always the heat measurement to the computer has something to do with air and gas. Okay, so everything is a balance right here you're looking at right now. O2 sensor, fuel injector, and the coolant temperature sensor. Okay, so I'm gonna explain to you one by one. Okay, so we're looking at the CTS, coolant temperature sensor, right? Okay, we got two connections. Sometimes I think some of them are three, and you can see it have a one piece copper in the. This is what got inside the engine. Okay, to measure the flow. But let me just explain to you how it works. So the CTS, which is the coolant temperature sensor, measure the temperature of the engine. Okay, send information to the computer. Also, the computer use this information to adjust and maintain engine temperature. Okay, so what I will do, the best thing to do when get the code for this, is P0128. Okay, I will just replace a new one on the engine. Okay, for better engine performance. So don't just jump and change the thermostat. Once you have your diagnostic tool and it tell you that is a P0128, it usually represent this sensor. Just go ahead and change it. Don't test it and then replace it. For instance, you test it and it says it good, then you're going to put it back. That's not a good thing to do, especially on high mileage vehicle. So I would just buy a new one and replace it. At least you know what next to do. All right, because sometimes you can test it and because it malfunction, so you test it and it's good, you put it back, everything working, down the line the engine light come back. So what I would do, just replace a new one. Okay, so that's one so far. Also, this send the information to operate the engine in the right way. Okay, looking at the O2 sensor, right? Okay, this sensor measure the amount of oxygen in the exhaust and compare to the amount of air outside. Okay, then it give information to the engine computer. Also adjust fuel and intake. So usually I would just replace a new one for better engine performance, especially when it comes to these O2 sensors. As again, you can test them, but what if it's malfunctioning? P0242, or just for example, usually we get it for downstream sensor, which is the postcat. Just replace that sensor. Don't go ahead and replace something different. Make sure it's the right sensor. Okay, they usually ask if you want the one before the cat or after the cat. Okay, so let's go by the code. So this is important. This is also measure air and gas. Okay, for the vehicle to run, for the engine to run balance. All right, this also has something to do with tune-up. Sometimes you think you need a tune-up, but you only need an O2 sensor. You'd be surprised how these vehicles run like that's a scientific way. Just do everything. Everything is a balance. Okay, so if your engine too hot, it's not gonna run. or if the engine running too lean, the engine gonna start to shake. Or you're gonna drive, when you drive in the vehicle, it's gonna feel shaky. Usually just the auto sensor need to be changed. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go on the next one. Okay, this is a fuel injector. This is very important. Okay, once you turn on the vehicle, the first thing you're gonna get is air and gas and intake and all these things inside the engine. Okay, a lot of time your vehicle shaking, and my experience, I did it before. I go ahead and tune up car, buy new plugs, ignition, buy actually ignition coil, spark plug, think everything is doing good. You put it in, you drive for a little bit, feel like the engine is performing well. Once the vehicle get hot, it start to maybe shake again. Usually, this is one of the main problem. Your injector usually clogged up. Okay, so it's not spraying the right way. Okay, you have a lot of YouTube videos out there, you could check it out. But just example I'm showing you. This is very important. Gas can flow good right here from the fuel line, but once it reach right here, it become a problem. Dirt always gonna clog right here. Okay, so that's how it is. Okay, I'm gonna explain to you how fuel injector work. Okay, so fuel injector control fuel in the engine. If one injector go bad, for example on number one cylinder, this can cause misfire. So even though you change an ignition coil or spark plug, the engine will continue to misfire because of bad fuel injector. So best to test all fuel injector. Okay, replace bad fuel injector to protect engine, and also you will get better performance on the engine. Okay, so as I said, all these is very important. Three most important sensors of your car, of a car engine. Okay, O2 sensor. Okay, have something to do with the airflow and the gas intake and gas. Injector, same thing, intake and gas. Okay, these are all considered tune up. Okay, this also is important. Okay, this is also a big culprit. You could have a malfunction sensor, and sometimes it maybe don't give the code, but you need to change it high mileage. Okay, also drain your coolant, especially if you live in the cold weather. Always drain your coolant. Okay, so there you go. Coolant temperature sensor and the fuel injector and the O2 sensor. Hopefully this help. If you have any question, leave it in the comment and let me know. If you feel like I didn't answer everything correctly, you can also go ahead and correct me. Okay, and if you like the video, share the video, and you can support the channel. Okay, thanks for watching.